Alright, hey everyone, so I just wanted to do a quick video showing this Extron VSC again. Specifically the one I have is a VSC 700D. However, this should be the same information basically for 7 or just regular 700 or like a VSC 500, 500D, or even like the 900, 900D. Yeah, pretty much the same across the board as far as what we're doing today. So specifically though, I wanted to show how we can make NSO N64 games, and really just any NSO, classic game that you can get on the Switch to look good on a CRT TV using one of these Extron devices. So yeah, if you like these videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, all that awesome stuff. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first off, I'll show you how I have all this set up. And also, if you want a more in-depth explanation of all this stuff, I'll leave a link to a previous video I did where I was just like connecting Zelda Tears of the Kingdom through the Extron to a CRT. Yeah, that video will probably be quite a bit longer than this one, and it also will probably go in a lot more depth. So yeah, check out that video if you're interested. Yeah, anyway, but just for a very quick rundown of how I have this set up, because obviously a Nintendo Switch doesn't have analog output for video, only for audio. And so basically what I have is, this is the Nintendo Switch dock. This is the official dock, and I just have it, I have it in a custom case. But yeah, so there's HDMI coming out of the Switch through the dock, and then it's going into this VGA to BNC adapter that I have here. So yeah, and I guess first it's HDMI to VGA. So yeah, you can see the HDMI cable. Oh, no you can't. Now you can. So yeah, this is the HDMI cable from the Switch, and then there's this HDMI to VGA adapter, and then a gender changer for the cable, and then this is a VGA cable on the other side. So yeah, kind of zoom up on that a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's a little better. So yeah, so that's the way that works. And then this, depending on what VSC model you have, you may need a different cord, like a different VGA cable. So with the 700 series, like the one I have, you need a VGA to that then breaks out into BNC. And again, check out my other video if you want more explanation on this. But if you have a VSC 500, then you'll just want a regular VGA cable. Yeah, because those don't have BNC adapters on it. And I actually kind of wish mine didn't have BNC, because yeah, I think just regular VGA is easier to deal with, but it is what it is. If you do have a 900, again, you don't have to try to track down a 900, because those ones generally are very much more expensive than the 700 or 500 series. But if you do have one of those, then those can take BNC or VGA input. So yeah, you should be good either way. But yeah, again, you can do this with the 500 or the 700 as well. So yeah, wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, and then also on this HDMI to VGA adapter, there's an audio out right here. So yeah, that's an easy way to get audio. You can also get audio out directly from the Switch's headphone jack, which yeah, also works great. Yeah, anyway, so that's how the Switch is hooked into this VSC system. Yeah, and then on the back of this VSC 700, you can see there's a composite. I have composite video coming out of it. So yeah, and you will need some of these. If you're going to use composite video, you will need some BNC to RCA jacks probably. Yeah, I'll leave links for those in the description. I'll leave links for all this stuff in the description, besides the VSC, because since, yeah, that is something that unfortunately is not made anymore, but you should be able to find one on eBay. But yeah, these VSC products also have S-Video out, so if your CRT supports S-Video, I would definitely use that, since it is a upgrade over composite. But yeah, that's pretty much how we have everything set up. So yeah, again, this the HDMI out of the Switch going into this HDMI to VGA adapter. Then we have audio coming out of that adapter, and then we have the VGA to BNC cable going to the Extron, and then we have composite video coming out of the Extron going into the CRT. So yeah, that's pretty much how it's set up. So now let me show you how to actually get this to look awesome on a CRT, because yeah, as is, you can see it doesn't look great. So let me set up my camera. Okay, so what do I mean by when I say it doesn't look great? Because obviously the colors look good. So the problem is that, as you can see, there's black borders on each side of the screen, whereas I also have my Nintendo 64 hooked up directly into this TV. So now if I switch the input to that, first off, the volume is, for some reason, the Nintendo 64 outputs a very loud volume compared to the Switch. But besides that, as you can see, on the CRT TV, the composite, again, this is just composite going into the front of this TV directly from the Nintendo 64. And as you can see, it fills up the entire screen. So obviously that's the way you want your retro games to look on a CRT. So yeah, and then it's very unfortunate that the Switch does not look that way. So how do we get rid of these black borders? Well, luckily the Extron VSC products are very, very awesome scalers. So let me show you these controls on the front of the unit. Alright, so first we have the size button. So you can see when I push that, then I can change these knobs, and then as I'm moving it, you can see I'm actually adjusting the size on the screen. So as you can see, it's getting smaller. Whereas then if I go in the other way, you see I'm just turning this knob, then it's actually getting bigger. And you can see as the more we scale out, the less we see of those ugly borders. So anyway, I'm just going to keep on scrolling over. You can see, just keep on scrolling over until we basically don't see those borders anymore. And these adjustments, by the way, do not need to be perfect, because CRTs never have perfect geometry, at least hardly ever. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Really, the biggest thing is just to get it to where it looks good enough. And yeah, that said though, I too tend to be a bit of a perfectionist on it, so I'll show you how I get it to how I satisfy my perfectionist desires. But yeah, you don't have to have it perfect, because even a CRT that's like the same brand from roughly the same year, and I bet even like the exact same model, like two CRTs coming out of the factory won't have the exact same geometry. And yeah, and definitely a few years apart, even if it's the same screen size, won't. So yeah, anyway, yeah, geometry is flexible on analog displays for sure. Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, when you're making these adjustments, you can see that when this size light is on, that's how you actually change, horizontal and vertical size. And so yeah, then you can see we can also make the image shorter, or we can make it longer. So yeah, in the other video, I think I did this, but yeah, we actually made it shorter, so then we could have 6:9 content have the correct aspect ratio on the CRT. However, obviously we won't want to do that on this, since we're trying to fill up the screen with 4:3. So yeah, so anyway, so for the vertical, you can see I expanded it, and then we're going to want to push this button again, so then the size light turns off, and then we're going to want to do the knob. And when the size button light isn't on, then when you do this knob, let's see, let me go into a screen where it's not doing a bunch of black, since that'll be easier to see. Yeah, I definitely recommend going into a screen where there's not a bunch of black. So yeah, like this screen, for example. Yeah, because then, yeah, it'll just make it a lot easier to adjust and see what you're doing. So yeah. So basically, if you want everything to show up, you just want it to be roughly the size of, of the screen. And then you can kind of go back and forth between vertical size and vertical position. So yeah, what I usually do is I set the position first, and then I do size. Like if I want everything to show up, I just do size where it's just barely, everything is just barely showing or covering all the black bars. Because as you can see, if I go up like right there, and again, this is being perfectionist, you don't have to be this perfect on it, but you can see there's a little bit of black showing in the middle here, but then the sides are good. So when that's the case, I actually prefer to just have a little bit more go into the overscan, just to make sure that we don't have any black bars on the top or bottom. So yeah, so anyway, so right now this looks pretty good to me. Yeah, I'm just going to double check with the vertical position. Yep. Yeah, it seems pretty good. So yeah, so this is basically, you know, the full signal coming out of the switch. However, let me turn off the light so you can see this better. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry, I had to pause the video mid-sentence there, I think. But anyway, the basic point, though, that I wanted to show here is that you can see there's quite a bit of like empty space, like around these icons and stuff. So yeah, so like on the original Nintendo 64, let me switch that input real quick. You can see that zooms in quite a bit, where yeah, there's still a little bit of space around here, and again, this will change depending on, you know, what CRT you're using. But yeah, but you can see there's quite a bit less than compared to the Switch, where it just kind of seems all zoomed out. And so generally speaking, like, it's fine to have it zoomed out and like have everything shown. However, there are some Nintendo 64 games that actually have like artifacts down here, especially at the top of the screen, I've noticed, like a Mario 64. And so if that stuff is just kind of off into the zoom, overscan, then it just kind of makes for an overall better viewing experience, in my opinion. So anyway, so if you do have an original Nintendo 64, then you can try to do now what I'm going to do for like maybe the best optimal viewing experience. So basically, if your TV has two inputs, kind of like this one does, then you can plug your Nintendo 64 into one and then the Switch into the other, and then just kind of go back and forth and just keep on adjusting the Extron until it's generally like in the same position on both screens. So I especially like to look at these, like this, these heart, whoops, there's my finger, these heart positions, and then also like the, you know, these up here, these icons, you know, just make sure they're generally speaking the same position. And I actually, I also like to actually, oh, whoops, that's the wrong controller. I'm using two wireless controllers. For the Nintendo 64, I'm using this blue retro adapter. I'll leave a link for these in the description as well. They're pretty nice. But yeah, I'm using an NSO controller on the Nintendo 64. But yeah, but basically you want to have them both at the same, like both games at the same place. And so, and why I'm going to run outside of this house is because right now the icons are inactive, and so you can't see them as well, so it's not as good for adjustment. But if I just run out here and then don't push anything, and then I'll do the same thing on the Switch, if I can find the input button in the dark. Let's see, there we go. Okay, press the start button. So yeah, then I'll run out to this same screen on the Switch, and then I won't push anything. Alright, so now this is where the magic happens. And yeah, again, these Extron devices are really cool, and I wish they still made them. But yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing I did before, but this time I'm going to match it to the Nintendo 64 exactly. So yeah, so I'm just, you can see I'm zooming this out, something like that, and then I know it needs to go over a little bit. Again, these are just kind of rough adjustments right now, just to kind of show you the process. And I know that vertical size also needs to be increased a little bit, and then it needs to go up a tiny bit. I already have a general idea of how to do this because I've done this a lot of different times. Yeah, so I think that is generally where it needs to be, and let's see how close I got it. So let's switch back to the Nintendo 64. Yes, that actually is pretty close. Yeah, and again, depending on how perfectionist you like to be, you can even put like sticky notes on here and like line them exactly where the hearts, you know, stop or start, you know. And yeah, and you can even like, you know, basically you want to do like the top and bottom, so like and then the left and right. So like, for example, I'm going to put I usually just use my finger, and then just like don't move your head too much when you're switching inputs, because if you move your head, then it will be slightly off. But anyway, so this is the Nintendo 64, and then you switch to the Nintendo Switch. And so yeah, so it looks like that I actually have to move this up a tiny bit, and then I have to increase the size. Whoops, not that size. That size a little bit. So yeah, you can see generally that's what you do. And then yeah, that's a little bit closer. I still needs to go up a little bit more on the Switch. But yeah, but then you also want to, you know, like go down here or I'll just do this hand since it's easier. But I actually usually do this side just because it's the bigger icons are a little easier to see. But yeah, you also want to do like the vertical position. And so yeah, so vertical position is actually pretty close between the two. So yeah, I think I'll probably just leave that there for now. But anyway, yeah, and then I guess really as long as you do like, you know, side and then the bottom, you should be good. And you can also check like other elements as well. But yeah, just kind of go back and forth. So I'm going to pause the video while I OCD this out of existence and get it to look pretty good. And then actually, just as I've been adjusting this, you can actually see, so this is actually why it's important to test both sides of the screen and not just this side, because let me turn on the flash so you can see this better. So yeah, so as you can see, there's actually, so even though we got this side pretty good, and so we go back over to the Nintendo 64, and this one actually is slightly over still a little bit. And so I need to actually decrease the vertical size or horizontal size just a tiny bit more just to bring that into spec. So yeah, anyway, long story short, it is good to check both sides. So yeah, check this side and this side, and you can even do top and bottom as well. Yeah, just check all four corners. So like check the map, make sure that's in generally the same place, the rupee count. And it doesn't have to be this game. Again, you can do this same thing on Mario 64 with like Mario's life count up here at the top. Yeah, and just like the lines of the grass, and you know, just make sure the graphics look the same on both systems. Anyway, I'll pause the video while I get this. Oh, I keep on forgetting, or I keep on thinking of more stuff to add. I guess it kind of depends on what game you choose. So like, for example, Star Fox has quite a bit of borders on the top and bottom during the actual gameplay, so that may not be the best game to choose when you're doing this. I would choose a game like Ocarina of Time or Mario 64, since I think those do fill up the entire screen. Oh, and keep in mind that your Switch might have oh, I see, I just messed it up. But yeah, your Switch might have a timeout mode. So yeah, for like where it like makes the screen darker. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, I'll pause the video and get this adjusted. Okay, maybe I'll just do little updates from time to time. So yeah, so I think I got these C buttons positioned pretty closely. So yeah, you can see that's pretty similar. And then same thing on this side. It's, yeah, where my thumb ends. So yeah, that looks good. However, now if I go down to this map, this is why it's important to do the top and bottom of the screen and like left and right sides. So you can see this is Nintendo 64, and then so I have this at the bottom of this map, my finger. And now when I switch this switch, come on, you can see the vertical size actually needs to be increased a little bit. So yeah, I'll do that until the map is generally where my thumb is. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see the controls aren't quite fine enough where I can get it perfect, but it's close enough. Again, there's not going to be an analog TV that's perfect anyway. And let's check this side of the map. So let's see. Okay, so here's the 64, which we're basing it off of. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then we'll check this rupee count. So let's go back to 64. Okay, so that's about right there. Yeah, and just be careful not to move your head when you're checking this. So yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so I think right now, I think we have this pretty good. So yeah, nice, cool. Yep, looks pretty good. All right, cool. So anyway, yeah, I think that'll do it for this video. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how to get NSO games working great on the Nintendo Switch. And so yeah, and I guess, yeah, just to end the video, let's go ahead and try out some other games. And yeah, we can just see how these will also look really good. Since we're on the Switch now, I'll turn up the volume a little bit. So yeah, so again, this is Mario 64. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, can you believe this is the Nintendo Switch? I can't. I mean, this is awesome. Yeah, look at this on a CRT. And yeah, and this is 480i too, so it's actually even technically higher resolution than the Nintendo 64, Mario 64, Zelda would be. So yeah, it looks really good. And depending on how your TV handles 480i resolution, it may or may not look better than the 240p original. However, this TV handles 480i very, very good. like extremely good. This is like a 1993 TV, I believe, if I remember correctly. But yeah, 480i looks really good on this TV though. So yeah, anyway, let's go. And then yeah, it's not just Nintendo 64 games too, as you can see. Like if we go into Super Nintendo games, so now this should be set up for this as well, since all these games were 4x3. Yeah. Give a second to load here. So yeah, and I mean, I guess that is kind of a downside where then, you know, if you are playing Switch games, you'll have to go in and readjust it, unfortunately. But yeah, let's see, let's just try out Mario World, I guess. So yeah, here we go, Mario World. So yeah, look at that, very nice, huh? Yep, so again, this is just all, yeah. Let's see, does the, there we go. Wasn't working there for a second. I'm playing with the Nintendo 64 controller, so yeah, it's a little weird. And I can't run fast because there's no Y button. Yeah. But yeah, this looks awesome though, doesn't it? So yeah, again, once you get this set up for one system, oh, come back. And yeah, then it works for pretty much any of these original systems. Yeah, same thing with the original Nintendo, you know. Yeah, really any of these will work. In fact, I'll pull that up real quick too. Okay, yeah, that's cool. There's a bunch of new games on here. I haven't opened this app for a while, I guess. See if we can find like Mario or something. That's, I guess we can do Zelda again. Yeah, sure, let's do Zelda. Oh, it saves your save state? Oh, this is the SP version, that's why. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, this has all this stuff. That's awesome. Cool. But yeah, as you can see, this looks, yeah, just absolutely great. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, definitely this is the way to go. Yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do it for now for this video. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I guess now that I think about it, there is one more tip I could give you. So yeah, so obviously, you know, if you're going back and you want to play a different game on the Switch, yeah, supposedly there's different ways to save profiles on here. However, I think you need the remote for the 700 and 500 models. The 900 model is nice because you can actually save it on buttons that are on front of the device. But yeah, again, that one is usually quite a bit more expensive. However, another way to kind of like have profiles saved, whoops, is you can actually just go in here, and this is just like a pro tip I'll show you real quick, or a hack, I guess, kind of. But if you actually just go in here and just change the resolution, so like for example, if I change to 720p, actually 720p I already have set up like this too, so let's do, oh really, do I have all of these set up like this? Okay, well anyway, basically I'll just mess up my, let's see, I'm going to mess up my 480p settings. So basically if you change the resolution, and then if you go in here, like let's just do something wonky for whatever reason, let's say you want to have, well no, yeah, because let's say that you want to have, you know, everything showing on the screen basically for like, you know, just regular Switch games. So let's say you want it to look like that for whatever reason. So now as you can see, like this actually looks pretty good for 480p. And then, yeah, but now you can see we have our black borders on the side of the screen again, which is unfortunate. However, if we then switch back over to our 1080p setting, then this is kind of a way to trick it into having two different profiles. So now you can see it zoomed in again, and we have our original profile. So basically, long story short, you can say, okay, maybe you say, okay, 480p is my retro mode. So 480p is set up like this, where the black borders are disappeared. Because yeah, obviously lower resolution, the Switch outputting with lower resolution on these games is still going to look awesome because they're targeting 240p anyways. So yeah, so I would say set up your, you know, your 480p resolution on the Switch to look awesome, and then maybe, you know, go into 1080p and set up to be like your widescreen mode on the Extron, because yeah, it will basically, the Extron will change your settings. It'll choose different settings for your Switch. So yeah, anyway, yeah, so I did it backwards than what I would recommend. But yeah, anyway, I hope that makes sense. And then also, I think you do want to have this on full range as well, since this Extron device would be, I'm pretty sure it would be looking for it would be expecting a full range signal from a PC. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to have this on full range as well for the RGB range. But yeah, anyway, I am open to be convinced on that though. So yeah, feel free to leave a comment if you think it should be limited instead of full. But yeah, I think it should be full. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I think that'll do it for this video. So yeah, this is, yeah, again, just how to make these classic games look awesome on the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, anyway, yeah, we'll get rid of those ugly borders. And so yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. We're coming up to 800 subscribers now pretty soon. So yeah, we'll talk to you later. Thanks everyone. All right, bye.